Hello, my favorite little muffins. Okay, so we are reading this article, Is Google Making Us Less Intelligent? And as we read, we are drawing a box around the introduction and conclusion, highlighting the main reason given for each body paragraph, and underlining the one supporting example or detail that supports each reason. So this article is saying that we use search engines every day to find quick information, but is that making us less smart? And we're going to read this persuasive writing, which means it's someone trying to convince us to think a certain way and see what we believe. So we went ahead and numbered our paragraphs and boxed our introduction and conclusion, and now we have already highlighted the main reason for the first body paragraph, and now we are going to take some fantastic volunteers to give us a supporting detail for that. Okay, where are my fantastic volunteers?
Here.
Where are you?
I'm Morphin.
Henry, what do you think is the supporting detail for Google limiting our need for higher level thinking? And I'm going to need silence so I can hear what Henry has to say. Exactly. So I agree with him. He's saying the supporting detail is higher level thinking is our ability to think deeply about information. Does anyone else have a different one? Trevor, what do you think? So we're actually finding it from this paragraph. But that is a really great insight. Eloise?
In deep thinking, brain scientists have discovered happens only when our mind opponent attended.
That is a great one too. I do have to agree with Henry on it's our ability to think deeply about that information, because it's supporting that Google takes away our need for higher level thinking, and it's saying what higher level thinking is. It's our ability to think deeply about that. Okay? So let's move on to paragraph 3. I'll read it quickly one more time to refresh our minds. You'll never think deeply without distraction if you're always Googling, texting, and surfing. If we're distracted, we understand less, remember less, and learn less. That's the problem with Google and with the internet in general. When we use our computers and our cell phones all the time, we're always distracted. The net bombards us with messages and other bits of data, and every one of those interruptions breaks our train of thought. We end up scatterbrained. So, what do we think is the main reason for this paragraph? What do we think? Luke or Morgan, you want to help me out? Haven't heard from either of you today. Okay, how about I'm coming back to you guys for paragraph 4, so you can be ready for that. AJ or Harper, you want to help me? What do we think the main idea of this paragraph is? Paragraph 3.
You'll never think deeply without distraction.
Exactly. You'll never think deeply without distraction, okay? This is highlighting that Google and the internet and texting, all of that is a distraction, and they're completely right. Thank you, AJ. But what supporting detail in this supports that we can never think deeply without distraction? There could be a couple, but there's one that I feel like I like the best. So go ahead and turn and talk to your neighbor about which one you think it is. And I want to see everyone discussing it.
If we're distracted, we understand, but remember less and learn less.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see 2 of them I think they might be. Okay, class.
Yes.
Avery, I haven't heard from you. Tell me what you think it is.
Even as Google is giving us all that useful information.
Is that from paragraph 3? So when we find the supporting detail for the main idea, it's going to be in that paragraph, but I appreciate you trying. Owen?
That's the problem with Google and with the internet in general.
That is a great one too, but I am thinking of a different one. Morgan? Exactly. So that's one of them I was thinking. When we use our computers and cell phones all the time, we're always distracted because we can't think deeply without distraction. That supports that. But there is one more I was thinking. One more. Levi?
We're distracted. We understand, remember less, and learn less.
That is the other one I was thinking. Okay, so we can never think deeply without distraction. That is our main idea, okay? And when we're distracted, we understand less, remember less, and learn less. That supports our main idea, okay? But I did agree with Morgan on this second one. That said, when we use our computers and our cell phones all the time, we're always distracted, okay? But I feel like the first one maybe supported it just a little better because it was focusing on thinking instead of being on the internet. Okay, so let's do paragraph 4, okay? I want you to do this with your neighbor and then volunteer, so go ahead and work with your neighbor to find that main idea and supporting detail. But let's not highlight or underline yet because we're going to do that as a class. So go ahead and work with your neighbor, and I want to see all of you working. Go ahead.
Even Google is getting all the information up. Yeah, that's good. That's what I was saying. On a regular one?
Okay, class.
Yes.
I want to hear from someone I haven't heard from yet. I've heard from you people. Claire, I haven't heard from you. What do you think the main idea of this paragraph is?
Even as Google is giving us all that useful information.
That? What about that second part of the sentence? Does anyone know what that word means superficially? That's a really tough word. I don't know if anyone knows what it means.
I don't know.
Ella?
Like to make us like quickly and like.
So let's look at our context clues on that next one. So after it says that, it says it's making us shallow. Okay, so thinking superficially, yeah, what Ella was saying, she's exactly on the right track. Thinking superficially is not allowing us to think deeply about things and to have higher level thinking, like we just talked about in the first 2 paragraphs, okay? Did anyone else have a different idea on what the main idea could be? Or did everyone kind of agree with Clara? Eloise, what do you and Avery think?
The faster we zip across the web
Yeah, that's a good one too, but this is kind of a short paragraph, so it's hard, but I feel like these first few sentences display it better. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that it's encouraging us to think superficially, and then I am going to underline that it's making us shallow, because that is our supporting detail of superficially. Even if we don't know what superficially means, we can look at our context clues from the next sentence. Making us shallow. Okay, has anyone ever heard that in a sentence? Like, you're shallow, or this is
You're
shallow,
shy.
you're acting shallow. What does it mean?
kind of like
I'm looking for people to raise their hands. Trevor, what do you think?
I'm going for yes. I think it means making us shallow, making us like not as intelligent because we're looking stuff up.
Yeah, no, Trevor, you're exactly on the right track with that. So you can literally think about shallow exactly how it means in real life. Like when a river is shallow, it means it's not very deep, right? Take that key word deep thinking, okay? So when we're shallow, we're not using our deep thinking. We're not using our intelligence or emotions, okay? We're just very shallow. Okay, any other questions or comments on this before we move on? We're good? Okay, perfect.